membrane, cell wall, chloroplast, cytoplasm, ribosome, vacuole, and mitochondria. You should know the differences between plant and animal cells. Plant cells have cell walls, animal cells do not. All this stuff is pretty basic. Plant cells have chloroplasts, animal cells do not. Animal cells have centrioles, whereas plant cells do not. That may slip some people up. Animal cells have many small vacuoles. Plant cells usually have fewer large vacuoles. A common mistake is animal cells have a cell membrane, plant cells have a cell wall. All cells have a cell membrane, including those with cell walls. Plants, fungi, bacteria, some bacteria, and protists. The cell wall is mostly for protection, and the cell membrane is needed to control movement into and out of the cell. The cell membrane is made of lipids and proteins. It shows selective permeability. Only some molecules can pass through it. That's more about transport and the contents and concentration of certain molecules there. Small molecules like O2, oxygen, H2O, water, and CO2, and sugars can pass freely through the cell membrane through diffusion. Large molecules like proteins and starches cannot pass through the cell membrane without the help of transport proteins. The cell must use energy, or ATP, to move a molecule. It's called active transport. The basic types of proteins in cell membranes are receptor proteins, transport proteins, and antigens to help protect the body. All right, so here's Unit 3, homeostasis and the human body. In this, we're going to start with organization. So all cells are specialized into tissues. Tissues are groups of cells specialized to do certain jobs. Examples of tissues include muscle tissue and nerve tissue. Specialization or differentiation is the process that changes a stem cell into a specialized tissue. Almost every cell has a complete set of genes, but only those genes needed for the cell's particular job are turned on at that period of time. So, for use an example, a red blood cell has all the genetic information needed to make nerve cells, bone cells, and skin cells, but all those extra genes are turned off. Only the red blood cell genes are turned on. Stem cells are the cells that have not yet been specialized. So, tissues, they work together to form organs such as the heart, lung, and kidney. Lungs, plural that is, and kidney. Organs work together in organ systems, digestive systems, nervous systems, etc. So that's kind of how we, some of the most essential functions of our human body. The nervous system it regulates your body with electrochemical impulses. The spinal cord controls reflexes and relays impulses between the brain and the body. So that's kind of how you react to things, your communication, etc. with the rest of it. This is how your entire body moves and functions, along with the muscular system as well. Kind of a little bit of a tandem there, so it's very nice. The endocrine system uses hormones to regulate the body along and slower than the nervous system. The endocrine system is, but has longer lasting effects. The pancreas makes insulin and glucagon to control blood sugar. Common mistake is insulin lowers blood sugar. Insulin lowers blood pressure. Insulin and glucagon, I'm so sorry, directly control blood sugar or glucose levels, but not blood pressure. Adrenal glands make adrenaline when the body is under stress, and testosterone, which is the male hormone, estrogen, and progesterone, which is the female, are the sex hormones. For male and female, respectively. These are made in the gonads, testes for males or ovaries for females. Hormones are controlled by feedback mechanisms. So, yeah, that's how it works. An example of one is lower blood sugar would lead the pancreas to secrete less insulin. Then the higher blood sugar would come in, and the pancreas would secrete more insulin to make things maintain homeostasis. Anyway, so we now turn to transport and circulatory systems. They move material, water, nutrients, hormones, and waste through the body to the cells. Through the body to the cells that need them. The heart is the pump that drives the circulatory system, and the red blood cells carry oxygen. White blood cells fight disease. Plasma is the fluid of the blood. It transports everything except oxygen. Platelets clot the blood. And here are the common mistakes that you may think. The heart controls the body. It is the brain, nerves, and endocrine system that controls the body. The heart is only a pump. It does not control the body, and it is not part of the nervous system or endocrine system, although it is Very important to get your blood out to your body and pump it up. So the heart pumps oxygen to the brain. It's technically true, but the heart pumps blood, which carries oxygen, everywhere in your body, not just the brain. Oxygen diffuses into and out of the heart. No. Materials diffuse in or out of the blood when it is in the heart. This only occurs in the capillaries. So the respiratory system. Breathing provides oxygen needed for chemical respiration, which releases energy from sugar. It also excretes the waste CO2, or carbon dioxide, which is produced from respiration. The diaphragm is the muscle that allows the breathing to occur. You breathe faster when CO2 builds up in the blood, not when you need oxygen. The alveoli are the microscopic sacs where oxygen enters the blood and CO2 leaves the blood. The alveoli are surrounded by capillaries. The immune system is the job of the immune system is to protect the body against pathogens. Types of pathogens include viruses, bacteria, and parasites. White blood cells are the main components of the immune system. Different white blood cells have different roles, including identifying pathogens, tagging pathogens for destruction by other WBCs or white blood cells, destroy pathogens by eating them, or destroy pathogens by using chemicals or make antibodies to also fight the pathogens. Antigens are protein tags that can be used to identify a cell or a virus. A cell and virus which have antigens different than yours will cause an immune response. Antibodies are antibodies are made of white blood cells to attack antigens. Each antibody attacks a specific antigen as determined by its shape. Be able to explain, though, why your body's immune system rejects organ transplant. Sometimes why it may not work. Will the antibody attack it? And will they possibly think it's an antigen? Blood type O is a universal donor. Blood type AB is a universal acceptor. Here's a common mistake. Antibodies are the cells that attack pathogens. Antibodies are proteins, not cells. That's another important thing to remember. A vaccine is an injection of a dead or weakened pathogen. This causes the body to make antibodies against the pathogen. It is effective against both viruses and bacteria. Common mistakes. Vaccines are used to cure diseases. Vaccines prevent diseases you do not already have. They are not cures. You need to get it to not get that disease in the future, not when you already have that disease. That does not really work. Antibodies are drugs used to stop infections by bacteria. Antibiotics will not work against viruses. Unlike vaccines, but antibiotics can cure diseases. Now we turn to the excretory system. It removes metabolic cellular waste from your body. These wastes the possible waste it can remove include water, salt, urea, and CO2. Lungs excrete CO2 and water, and the skin excretes sweat, and the kidneys filter waste from blood and reabsorb nutrients. The liver filters toxins and dead red blood cells from the blood. Now we turn to the digestive system. And by the way, again, you may be like, whoa, we're moving so fast here. This is just a brief review of some of the things that you need to know. All right, so food is broken down so that it is small enough to enter the body tissues in the digestive system. The digestive system is a one-way passage through the body that includes the mouth, stomach, and intestines. Food is moved through the digestive system by the muscular contractions or peristalsis. Food is broken down mechanically and chemically. Undigested food is eliminated as solid waste or feces. Here are some of the common mistakes. Feces are excreted from your body. Feces do not come from yourselves, so it's technically not excreted. The digestive system excretes waste. The digestive system does remove waste, but again, excrete is not correct. The digestive system gives you energy. The digestive system gives you nutrients, not energy. Energy is gained only by chemical respiration. So the chemical respiration system gives you energy, not specifically the digestive system. Now we turn to the interaction between systems. You got to be able to explain how different systems of the body work together to maintain homeostasis. For example, here are some ways. 5 layers of fat that work together. Nutrients from the digestive system are transported to cells by the circulatory system. Waste from the respiratory system are removed by the excretory system, and the nervous and endocrine systems work together to control the body. Also, the immune system protects the nervous system from disease. The digestive system gives nutrients to the endocrine system. Those are some of the ways that the body's systems all work together to protect each other and, by extension, you. So that's pretty cool. All right. Anyway, now we turn to diseases and disorders. You got to be familiar with different diseases and disorders, what causes them, and how they may affect your body. Typically, the exam asks you to name a disease and how it disrupts homeostasis. So here are some of the most important diseases. We're going to go through them quickly. AIDS, it's caused by HIV virus. The HIV virus is a pathogen. It weakens the human immune system, leaving your body vulnerable to other diseases. Spread through bodily fluids, usually sexual contact, intravenous or IV drug use, sharing needles, don't share needles, kids, or blood transfusions. It can't be cured, but spread may be prevented by sexual abstinence, safe sex, using condoms, or not sharing needles, or testing blood before using it for a transfusion. So, cancer is caused when a cell reproduces or divides at an uncontrolled rate, forming a tumor. Cancer cells do not specialize and take resources from healthy tissue. It may be caused by radiation, chemicals such as asbestos or cigarette smoke, and viruses as well. Can also cause it. Treatments include surgery, radiation therapy, and chemotherapy. Obviously, cancer, not fun for anyone. All right, yeah, the diabetes affects the body's ability to control blood sugar. Some diabetics may be treated using injections of insulin made by genetically engineered bacteria. Allergies occur when the immune system reacts to a harmless substance such as pollen, the same way it would react to a harmful pathogen, such as a cold virus. Asthma is a form of allergy caused by reaction to dust particles in the air. It's kind of like extreme allergies. So now we got to go over everyone's favorite unit, the reproduction system unit, reproduction, just general. All right, so yeah, asexual reproduction. Some of its advantages are faster. It's faster and easier. Disadvantages is no variety. The offsprings is the same as the parents. In sexual reproduction, however, the advantage is they have variety to do recombination of genes. The disadvantage is there's more time, effort, and risk involved in the process. Mitosis is used in all forms of asexual reproduction. The number and type of chromosomes in the daughter cells are the same as in the parent cells. Large organisms use mitosis for growth and healing. Simple organisms use it to reproduce. One division of a cell equals 2 identical diploid cells. Meiosis makes gametes used in sexual reproduction, and one divides twice, which means 4 different haploid cells. One cell divides twice, in that which makes 4. So pretty much how it works is you both, in mitosis and meiosis, you start off with a parent cell, the DNA replicates, making 2 daughter cells. That happens in both. But then in meiosis, you get 2 more replications, making 4 daughter cells total. And meiosis is used in sexual reproduction. All right, the male reproductive system, testes produce and store sperm. Testosterone is the male sex hormone, and it's made in the testes as well. Ovaries in the female reproductive system produce eggs. The menstrual cycle lasts 28 days on average. Ovulation, release of the egg, typically occurs once per cycle. Menstruation, the shedding of the uterine wall. If the pregnancy occurs, the menstrual cycle will temporarily stop. The fallopian tube carries an egg to the uterus. The uterus is the womb where the baby will develop, and the vagina is the birth canal where the baby will leave the body. The fertilization occurs in the fallopian tube or the oviduct. Fertilized egg is called a zygote. A fertilization restores the complete set of chromosomes, so the zygote is diploid once again. So one from the egg and one from the sperm equals 2 complete cells, or like one. Fertilization pretty much restores the correct number of chromosomes to make one human or growing cell, soon to be clump of cells. So that's nice. Anyway, A zygote develops into an embryo and then into a fetus. The placenta transfers nutrients and oxygen from the mother's blood into the blood of the fetus through the process of diffusion. The blood of the mother and the fetus do not mix. So, now we turn our attention to the embryo, and the embryo and the fetus, they develop in the uterus, and that eventually forms into a child. The cells divide without